1-2 pitch. Broken bat, dribbler to third. Figueroa charges, Fields, throws on the run, got him by a step. Sidearm sling to Macias to end a 1-2-3 top of the first for Caden Scarborough. Hub City comes to bat with Dreiling, Cook, and Moore against Blake Ida in the bottom of the first on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. One, two, three, top of the first for Caden Scarborough, and he passes the baton to his offense. 9 lefties batting tonight for Chad Comer against righty Blake Ida. Greenville starter, a 6th-round pick last year, making his 19th start of 2025. First base side of the rubber, he winds, lifts, and fires. Dreiling takes, up and in. That's 87 from Ida. The cutter to start off Dreiling. Ida will throw a fastball, a sweeper, and a changeup as well. His 1-0. Wave and a miss. Dreiling late on 92 up top.
And similar to Scarborough, Blake Ida, high spin guy, fishes for a lot of swing and miss. Almost a strikeout an inning so far in his first pro ball year.
1-1. Dives down and in. Dreiling takes 94. And this is the second go-around for Hub City against Blake Ida. He threw 6 1/3 against the Burgers at Floor Field. 3 earned runs on 4 hits. Didn't walk a batter. Struck out 3. 2-1 pitch. Diving, breaking ball. Dreiling takes in the dirt. And it's 3-1.
And he did have a double play that day, so he faced 3 over the minimum, threw 6 1/3, and all 3 of those runners came around to score.
Burgers were efficient that day. Pitch to Dreiling. Flies high, it's ball 4. Musset had to snag it like he was lassoing a bull. And the backlash almost caught Brooks Pritchett in the face. Leadoff walk for Dreiling. So after Ida doesn't walk a single Spartanburger on July 26th, 5 days short of a month later, he walks the first batter he faces. Staring over at first to keep Dreiling close, he now faces Casey Cook. Kicking the pitch. Heater high, ball 1. Dreiling's been swinging it well recently. Casey Cook swung it well against Blake Ida at Floor Field. 2 for 2, including a double on that night. Ida delivers. Off speed, called a strike. Cut fastball right down the middle.
Could be a big day for the Ida changeup. That's his kind of go-to off-speed against the lefties. And we mentioned 9 lefties today to face off against.
Pitch. Taken at the knees, strike 2. 93.
So I know the sweeper's good, and he'll use it. It's not like it'll be non-existent, but I would expect a more heavy dosage of changeups than normal.
Saw the Spartanburgers match up left on left plenty last night with Devin Futrell, because Futrell's best pitch is his changeup, and left on left can't really throw it. 1-2 to Cook. Breaking ball low and outside. Dreiling bouncing back and forth off first, trying to grab Ida's attention. Friley Encarnacion holds him over there. Mason White's the second baseman, Franklin Arias the shortstop, and Antonio Anderson playing well off the line at third. Ida's set, he delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ida with some high cheddar, 94 for his first K.
I think at this level, it's more common that you would see guys go reverse splits contrary to what you would expect, because not always are all the pitches fully developed at the high A level, right? Once you get to the majors, it's more common that you see lefty pitching better against righty, better against lefty, and vice versa with the righties.
Malcolm Moore awaits and watches Ida throw over to first. Dreiling back safe. Scoreless bottom of the first, 1 out and a man on for Malcolm Moore. Catcher tonight, who saw Ida a couple times back in Greenville and did not fare well. 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Right on left pitch. Taken strike. Outside edge. Backdoor cutter from Blake Ida. Pre-game show a little earlier than expected from first pitch, but it was very interesting to hear Malcolm Moore talk so openly about his struggles. Next offering, bounces home, and Andrew Mousset keeps it in front of him. First full season of pro ball can be a roller coaster for many, but you don't expect, as he said, to break your hand and miss 10 weeks. Throws a wrench in the whole operation. Short lead for Dreiling, 1-1 count. Ida rocks and fires. Fastball way outside. Mousset catches it over the chalk of the righty box. But Malcolm's a steady hand. 2 seasons at Stanford, where at first he was a breakout star, then a team leader as just a sophomore. Draft eligible afterwards. 2-1, hit off the hands, high in the infield, right in front of the mound. Ida makes the call and drops it. Dreiling back to first. He's got to get to second. Throw beats him there. Moore at first. Baseball coaches will tell you, never let the pitcher make the play. And that is a prime example why.
Actually works out in his favor, far from what he intended to do there, but you get worse speed on first, replacing Dreiling by Moore. So all is okay in the world of Blake Ida. Heavy dosage of spin on that baseball, and it just spun right off the end of his glove.
Accidental 1-6 fielder's choice for the second out. And John Taylor in the lefty box. Ida set, checks first, deals home. Fastball, a little high, ball 1. By the way, the outfield for Greenville, got to get there at some point. Justin Reamers in left. Nelly Taylor Jr. out in center. And Yoferi Rodriguez playing in his first game in 9 days in right. Infield blows his way, the pitch. Outside. Steady breeze out towards right center. Territory that Yoferi Rodriguez and Nelly Taylor, 2 of the fastest players on the Greenville Drive, will have to cover. Out in front of the massive video board. 2-0 pitch. Taken on the outer edge. Strike 1 to John Taylor.
And another quick check of the WSPA weather report. It's only about 75 degrees right now, but the humidity in the 90s, so it feels quite muggy. Still on the outskirts of a shower. Could pass by.
2-1s outside. 3 balls and a strike.
Still plenty of rain to our south, down towards Simpsonville and Greenville, and we've dodged all of it so far. Not out of the realm of possibility to see a few sprinkles before this one's over.
If you look past the parking structure and left, you can see a sunset. 3-1 to Taylor. Lifted to shallow left. Third base side foul territory. Anderson stops in fair ground and makes the catch behind third base. Burgers start off with a leadoff walk, but get nothing to show for it afterwards. Next three batters go down 1, 2, 3 in rather quizzical fashion, but Blake Ida's got a scoreless bottom of the first. No score yet between Hub City and Greenville. Top of the second after the break on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. No score between Greenville and Hub City, top of the second, and Yoferi Rodriguez takes a breaking ball just low from Caden Scarborough. First game since August 12th for Yoferi Rodriguez, lefty hitting right fielder. Tall righty Scarborough in the stretch fires home. Off speed, clouded down the right field line, turning over foul. Might have had home run distance as it ricochets off the fence and towards the Dr. Pepper Terrace. Just a long strike. 1-1, and Rodriguez itching to hit, already back in the box. Scarborough delivers. Splitter outside, 2-1. Struck out 2 in the top of the first did Caden Scarborough. But the MLB Pipeline scouting report says after he comes out fired up, the velocity may drop off, so that's something we'll keep an eye on. Infield plays the pull, 2-1 pitch. Fastball lifted to left. Martin's got a beat on it. Couple steps back, now he trots in, reaches up and makes the catch. They say first inning he's 96, 97. Second inning, potentially 93. After that early energy wears off. Last offering to Rodriguez was 94 at the top of the zone, and Yoferi was clearly late. Now Antonio Anderson, lefty third baseman at bat. Bases clear, 1 out, scoreless ball game, first pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike, down and away. Second straight game at third for Antonio Anderson, who had the eventual game-winning double last night. 0-1 from Scarborough. Drops home. Moore with the backhand stop, and the count's even. 1-1. Anderson's also been in and out of the Greenville lineup. He was dealing with a shoulder problem for a while. 1-1. Scarborough ready. Anderson ready. And the pitch. Sweeper low. A slight drizzle has started to fall. Most fans undisturbed, but a couple making their way to the concourse where shelter awaits. Not going to bother Scarborough, who deals. And puts a fastball at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Anderson. Anderson's a switch hitter who hasn't been hitting right-handed recently. because of a left shoulder problem. Matchup works out in his favor tonight. 2-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Strike 3. Even though the matchup favors Anderson, the splitter from Scarborough just better that time around. That's Caden's third strikeout and the second out of the top of the second. 5 up and 5 down so far for the 20-year-old Scarborough. And here comes Friley Encarnacion.
And a totally different approach, inning number 1 to inning number 2. It's been all off speed to start the ABs, pitching backwards now.
Right on right deal. Heater just outside. Encarnacion, another young buck, 20 years old, late January birthday. Scarborough takes a deep breath. His 1-0. Foul back. Encarnacion signed with the Red Sox for over $1 million back in January of 2022. That's a nice birthday present.
I'll take that.
Made his professional debut that very same year as well. Scarborough's 1-1. Wave and a miss. Encarnacion extremely tardy. 95 got past him before you get to the 5th syllable of his last name.
That fastball inside to the righties is just absolutely brutal. Arm side run at 95, up and in. Absolutely nothing to do with it.
Scarborough ahead, 1-2. 2 outs, base is clear. Gets the sign from Moore. He likes it. Pitch clock down to 1. He deals. Bender way outside. Nobody's got a hit yet between Greenville and Hub City. Spartanburgers worked the leadoff walk, bottom of the first, but the next 3 went down in order. Encarnacion holds the hands at the shoulders. 2-2 pitch. Softly floated over the third base dugout and out of play. Encarnacion cracked his bat. The splitter down and in sends Encarnacion back to his dugout on the third base side, looking for new lumber. Not often you see a low spin pitch break a bat. Mariano Rivera, the most famous for it because he threw firm cutters in on the hands. But that was a splitter at 85 with a spin rate under 1,500 that got Encarnacion off balance. He returns to the righty box with a gray bat, white tape on the handle, and stares out towards Scarborough. 2-2, 2 outs. Scarborough fires. Fastball ripped foul over the first base dugout and onto the concourse. That's the first solid swing we've seen anyone put on a Caden Scarborough heater all night, and it wasn't even in play. Scarborough just hit the 30-pitch mark. Another 2-2 to Encarnacion. Rolled back to the mound. Scarborough has it. Slings to first. Ends the frame. Off speed, which Encarnacion barely touched. Wraps up the top of the second. And Scarborough 6 up and 6 down. Scoreless between Hub City and Greenville. Bottom of the second after the break on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Still waiting for a run in the bottom of the second. Greenville and Hub City scoreless. Glader Figueroa digs in for the Burgers, facing righty Blake Ida, who winds and comes home and misses low with a sweeper. Figueroa, Martin, and Morabel. 5 through 7 in the Burgers order. 9 lefties set to face Blake Ida first time through. 1-0. Foul back. Figueroa behind on 92 to even the count. 1-1. Figgy had some tough at-bats last night. Grounded into a double play with the bases loaded. Flied out in the 9th with the potential tying run on second. Pitch fouled off his front foot. 1-2. Figueroa also fell victim to Greenville's defense, which was really sharp last night. Back in the 6th, with 2 outs, he hit a screamer back to Adam Smith, who snared it at the belt. I don't think Smith was even looking. The ball just ended up in his glove. Ida ahead, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Off speed, rolled over to the right side. White charges, fields in front of his feet, and an underhand flip to first retires Figueroa. Now here comes Maxton Martin, lefty hitting left fielder for Hub City. Just like Caden Scarborough, he arrived here at Fifth Third Park back on Tuesday. Unlike Caden Scarborough, he's been in the lineup for the first 2 games and hasn't been all that bad. Ida stares down a black mitt, deals home. Martin takes a change below the knees, ball 1. 6'1", 205. West Coaster, drafted in the same draft as Caden Scarborough. 1-0. Flared back foul. A late swing and a breaking ball evens the count. Martin was an 11th round pick out of Southridge High School. And similarly to Scarborough, he's on the Rangers' top 30 list. Barely cracks it at 29. 1-1 from Ida. Big chopper to first. Encarnacion grabs the second hop, trots to the bag himself, and Martin's retired. Bases clear, 2 down, bottom of the second. Hub City and Greenville still scoreless. Here comes Yason Morabel.
Good stuff so far from Ida. Kept things low in the zone, getting a lot of weak contact.
We have seen a full 4-pitch mix that you get from someone who excelled in college. First offering to Morabel. Drops low and in. Ida super sharp as a sophomore at Kennesaw State. All-ASUN first-teamer. Also named to the All-Academic team and the All-Tournament team. His 1-0. Hammered into left center. Taylor on a sprint towards the track. Loses the hat. Makes a diving catch. Nellie Taylor robs Yason Morabel of extra bases. Splayed out on the outfield grass in left center with the ball in his right hand.
That is sweet. Ball kept tailing away from him off the bat of the lefty, and he just kept on going to get there. One of the best plays we've seen at this ballpark all year.
A never-ending sprint for the Red Sox. Minor League Defensive Player of the Year last season turns into the 3rd out of the bottom of the 2nd. Scoreless after 2 between Hub City and Greenville on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. First pitch at the top of the third, taken for a strike. 94 middle in to Andrew Muse from Caden Scarborough. Righty hitting Greenville catcher stands in. Scarborough set, rocks home. Wave and a miss. Another heater past the barrel, and Caden Scarborough quickly ahead on Andrew Muse, 0-2. The rain presents a stark contrast with the sunset beyond the parking structure and left. Steadily falling as more fans make their way to the concourse, and Scarborough stares through it towards Malcolm Moore. 0-2 pitch. Fastball speeding through the rain, but just off the outer edge. Looked like a paint job from up here in the booth. Sunset looks like a Bob Ross beyond the parking structure. Orange fading into light blue below the clouds. 1-2. Wave and a miss, strike three. Sweeper down and out for the fourth K for Caden Scarborough. First out at the top of the third. Justin Reamer coming up next. Scoreless between Greenville and Hub City. First time through the drive, have no answer for the tall righty starter. Scarborough delivers. Heater just did. Reamer swings the bowling ball, or the bowling pin-shaped torpedo bat. All natural with a smear of pine tar on the handle. Jerking his left elbow towards Scarborough. 0-1. Down and out. It's 2 balls, no strikes to Justin Reamer. Former 4th-round pick out of Wright State. He's had injury issues throughout his whole career. This year he's got a shoulder brace on the left arm. 2-0. Spinning off speed outside to Reamer. Reamer wears the elbow guard on the left elbow and has the sliding mitt in his back right pocket. One more ball and he'll throw on the sliding mitt as he takes first. 3-0 pitch. Down the chute, strike one. That's a nice bounce back from Scarborough. He may just be 20, but he seems composed. That's what we heard from Malcolm Moore. Scarborough's taking his time on the mound. 3-1 to Reamer. Here's the pitch. Fastball smashed into left. It bounds in front of Martin, who can't catch it on a backhand, and it rolls behind him. Reamer speeds to second, stops there as the throw flies in. Not only does Scarborough give up a single, but tack on an extra base with the air in left. Reamer aboard for the first time tonight.
Got to think about the light precipitation had an effect on that baseball as it skipped out toward Martin. He misjudged it, and it cost Hub City an extra base. Now Scarborough right into the thick of things. After 7 straight set down, now he has to face a runner in scoring position.
And has to deal with DH Hudson White. Reamer dancing off second. First pitch. Breaking ball at the knees. Strike one. Justin Reamer will play cat and mouse all day with Caden Scarborough. We'll see if the righty starter's neck snaps behind him towards second base or stays focused on home. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball fisted high in the sky behind first base. Macias tracking back, makes the catch on the edge of the infield dirt. Reamer stays hands on knees on second. That's a heck of a bounce back. Not done yet, though. Got to get Franklin Arias. He has been a pain in the Spartanburgers' backside all year since he was called up in early May. He hit over 400 after he was called up and was named South Atlantic League Player of the Month. But Arias has slowly found level. First pitch. Breaking ball called strike at the knees. Arias is now a .264 hitter. This is game number 80. He's the youngest player on the field for either side. 0-1. Dives below the knees. Ball and a strike. Just 19 years old, signed out of Venezuela in 2023. If he makes his way up to Portland at some point this year, he'd be the first Red Sox since Roman Anthony to make a Double-A appearance before he reaches the age of 20. 1-1. Heater in, hits him on the wrist. Caught him on the front arm, so that left glove hand for Arias. He's bent over at the waist, clutching left arm and right between his knees in some serious agony. .93 up and in, usually meant to handcuff the hitter, but instead it plunks Arias. Thomas St. Clair out to talk with Scarborough and Malcolm Moore as well. This drizzle that's continuing to come down can't help Scarborough with the control or the feel for the baseball.
Good time to go out there. Check on the young starter, high A debut. First signs of trouble. First two batters that have reached against him so far today, and you want to limit the damage here and get out of it immediately.
Conversation continues. Arias has made his way to first. Will probably have a fat bruise on the left wrist, but nothing serious happened, and that's a great sign for the Red Sox system. Arias now puts the oven mitt on the left arm, chatting away with Antonis Macias, a couple steps away from first. Nelly Taylor steps in for the second time tonight. Greenville center fielder just made a fantastic diving catch to end the second. Now he has a chance to put his team in front in the top of the third. Right on left pitch. Sweeper, check swing. Yes, he did. Strike one. Field umpire Connell Crowell quick to throw up a fist. Reamer on second after a one-out single with an error from Martin in left attached. Arias, the trail runner, on first. Body angled towards the lead runner on second. 0-1 count to Taylor. Scarborough delivers. Fastball, wave and a miss. Taylor came unglued at 94 and sent a shock of geese flying overhead. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. Taylor has to regain his composure. He's crowding the plate. Toes on the left chalk of the batter's box. Scarborough set. Stares towards Moore. Deals the 0-2. Heater up and out. Still 94 from Caden Scarborough, so not getting that electric velocity we saw in the top of the first. Right now, all he needs is one more strike. Rain still falling, sun still setting in the distance of downtown Spartanburg. 1-2 pitch. Off speed, just off the outer edge. Scarborough went to the splitter that time. Couldn't buy strike 3. So far, 49 pitches, 33 strikes in Scarborough's first high A start. He checks second. Long hold, now the pitch. Fastball spun into the third base dugout. Luckily, the drive are okay. Slicing line drive that skipped past a few faces. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the third. No score between the Drive and the Spartanburgers. Game 3 of 6 of the series. Scarborough set. He deals. Off speed, awkward wave and miss, strike 3. Nelly Taylor completely fooled on a perfectly placed backdoor sweeper. Making 5 strikeouts through 3, scoreless for Caden Scarborough. Burgers up to bat next on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Playing through the rain at Fifth Third Park, Hub City and Greenville scoreless, bottom third. Blake Ida back to work against Antonis Macias. First pitch ripped through the right side of the infield. Base knock for the Burgers. Macias with his third high A hit. Jumped all over Ida's first offering, a cutter down and in. It brings up Theo Hardy. The final of the lefties, first time through the Spartanburgers order. Hardy a switch hitter, certainly a bunting threat. So Antonio Anderson creeps onto the infield grass. Encarnacion holds Macias. Pitch home. Hardy ropes it into shallow center, but right towards Taylor, who stabs his glove in the air and makes the catch. Taylor, with his blazing speed, almost overran the baseball.
On paper, a much easier play than he made to end the second inning, but almost made it into an adventure.
And with the drizzle continuing to fall, nothing is cut and dried for an outfielder. Spartanburger center fielder Dylan Dreiling steps in for the second time. Ida turns and throws to first. Macias back standing. No dirt on the all-white pants. Sunset has turned purple and orange beyond left field. But here in the Grain District, the Burgers and Drive playing through a drizzle. The pitch. Backdoor off speed just outside. Ida tried the changeup to Dreiling. Dylan, a .230 hitter in August, but finding it recently. 9 hits in his past 5 games. Pitch. Scooped in the air to left. Reamer on the run towards the foul line. Stops, reaches back, and grabs it. Once again, another Greenville outfielder almost overruns the baseball. Not a whole lot of wind to speak of. Flags hang to the side of the poles beyond Chaser's corner. With 2 outs, here comes Casey Cook. 0-0 bottom third. Burgers and Drive might find fielding more and more difficult through these conditions. First pitch. Late swing from Cook, strike 1. You can see the finish on his natural Marucci bat glistening in the rain. High navy socks to the knees for Casey Cook. White batting gloves. The pitch. Changeup way outside. You say stumbles backwards after grabbing it in the dirt. Casey Cook, Rangers' July Defensive Player of the Month, the DH tonight. Gets a day off after pairing up with John Taylor up the middle. Long pause from Ida. 1-1 pitch. Smashed high and deep to right. Rodriguez on the run towards the corner. It'll stay in the park. Rodriguez still going. And he got it. We can't see that corner from here in the press box, but Brooks Pritchett can. Home plate umpire holds up a fist, and Rodriguez comes out of there with the baseball. Scoreless through 3 between Hub City and Greenville on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Zeros on the scoreboard through 3 between Greenville and Hub City. Gaden Scarborough back out for the 4th, and Andrew Selver back on the play-by-play.
He faces off against 3, 4, and 5 in the drive lineup. Here's Mason White from the left side. First pitch. Bounced on the ground to second, gloved there by Hardy. To his left, he slings on time to first. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 4th for Caden Scarborough, who faced his first sights of damage in the 3rd inning, and he escaped it without giving up a run. Stranded 2 on base with a big strikeout of Nellie Taylor.
A 20-pitch 3rd, but Scarborough's demeanor never changed. That was the most impressive part.
Much needed quick out to start here in the 4th. Pitch count has gotten up there despite the scoreless ball game. Here's Yoferi Rodriguez. First pitch swinging, bounced foul first base side. And pitch number 53 for Scarborough. First couple of innings got long, deep into counts. Typically, if you're getting strikeouts, it takes a few more pitches to get those. And he's got 5 of them. 0-1 in the dirt.
Scarborough's thrown over 74 times this season, so he's got more length. But you wonder in the weather, especially if a delay is coming, how long his leash is, given that he is a high-value Rangers target.
Still has not come down hard tonight. Pitch on the way. Bounced foul, first base side, 1-2. But it is pretty constant. Falling under the lights as the sun still sets behind that left field line. Scarborough's last time out down in Single A with Hickory was a good one. Won him Carolina League Pitcher of the Week honors. 5 no-hit innings against Charleston. Got the promotion up here. High A debut tonight. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Caden keeps it going with a 6th strikeout, and there's 2 down in the 4th.
He looks ready. Another splitter that dives underneath Rodriguez's swing.
Brings Antonio Anderson up to the plate. And the command continues to get better and better. Scarborough really finding his stuff this season. 3rd straight lefty in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Back foot sweeper. 0-1. Last year, he didn't pitch a ton. Only 10 and a 3rd innings because he had a strained lat that kept him out until July when he finally made his pro ball debut after getting picked in the 6th round back in 2023 out of high school in Florida. 0-1. Wave and a miss. Another sweeper inside. 0-2.
And this year, the start of the season for Scarborough wasn't exactly beautiful. ERA up to 4.8 in mid-May. Got knocked around a couple times in the Carolina League.
Tall righty at 6'5", coming home. Got him looking, strike 3. Hey now, 4 scoreless from Caden Scarborough and 7 strikeouts in his high A debut. He keeps it going with a quick 1, 2, 3, 4th. We go to the bottom half. Still scoreless here on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Malcolm Moore first up to greet Blake Ida as we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Scoreless ball game at Fifth Third Park. Ida deals in the dirt ball one. Not the first time Blake Ida has been at the center of a real pitcher's duel between these two. 1-0. Roped right to second, caught there. Mason White didn't have to move. Just reached the glove up, took away a base hit from Moore. Ida back in late July, a part of a 4-1 Hub City win. He outlasted Colton Curtis, went 6 1/3 innings, but did give up 3 runs. Faces John Taylor, first pitch. In tight, ball 1. Curtis, meanwhile, 4 2/3 without allowing a run. Hub City did not give up a run until the 8th inning and won 4-1 that day. 1-0. Taylor leaves it alone. Outside with the changeup. Ida has kept the pitch count down again tonight. Next pitch will be number 40 here with an out in the 4th. Scoreless ball game, Hub City and Greenville in the 2-0. Chopped foul at the plate. 2-1. Taylor popped out his first time to the plate to end the first inning. Hub City has just had 2 base runners all day, and he grounds one through the whole left side. Arias couldn't lay out in the short to get it. It's a 1-out base knock for John Taylor. Second hit of the ball game. Just 1 hit on the other side for Greenville. And here comes Glader Figueroa. Has not been Glader's month so far. Average dipping down toward 200 as he struggles his way here through August. First pitch. Taking a strike with the fastball. 0-1. Home runs have disappeared as well for Figueroa. Last home run came back 2 days before the end of July. Over 3 weeks ago. Picked to first. Taylor back standing. Solid speed at first, but a short lead for Taylor. Held on there. Righty Ida goes back to first again. No tag applied. Taylor is 6 for 8 so far this season in stolen bags. With 1 out, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Sweeper on the outside corner. Figueroa down 0-2. Axton Martin waits on deck. He'll get his crack unless Figueroa bounces into a double play here. And the pitch. Runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw to second. Tag there. Late. Arias tried to swipe it onto the back feet of Taylor. He got in just before the tag. Swipes one against the catcher, Musset. And Hub City has a possible first run in scoring position. But Blake Ida picks up his second strikeout in the process. 2 down. Here comes Maxton Martin. Stolen bag number 7 for Taylor. Leads off of second in a scoreless ball game in the 4th. First pitch. Martin, high chopper back up the middle. At second, white gloves, throws to first, skipped it in there, but the dig from Encarnacion ends the inning. Burgers can't capitalize on a 1-out single from John Taylor, and at the end of 4, we are scoreless. 0-0 Hub City and Greenville here on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Fifth, and Greenville will have 6, 7, and 8 due up to face off against the tall righty. Scarborough gets his final warm-up, tosses him with Malcolm Moore. Had a brief stoppage before he could get started warming up for this inning. They went out and applied more dirt to the mound, trying to dry it off a little bit. Still light raindrops sprinkling in through the night sky here in South Carolina. Has not rained hard at all, but it's been pretty consistent rain for the last 45 minutes or so. We're just on the outskirts of a thunderstorm that's come through Greenville, about 30 miles south of here. And it continues to rain hard down there, but we haven't gotten anything hard yet. Nothing that would threaten this game after we did wait about 50 minutes to get the ball game underway. Just trying to wait out the possibility of thunderstorms, and eventually got started just before 7:30. Throw down for Moore, and Scarborough getting ready to face off against Fraile Encarnacion for the second time.
Is that a high-pressure or low-pressure system rolling beneath us?
That's above my pay grade.
Not doing a half-bad job on the weather here, man.
I don't know about the barometric pressure, if you will, or the type of clouds. But I do know that there's some red and some yellow on the screen, and red and yellow typically doesn't mean baseball if it comes through.
They unfortunately don't teach us that at the Harvard of Central New York.
Here's Encarnacion, first pitch. Called strike, fastball, outer half. We've stayed in the light green. I like light green. If we can stay with that all night, we might get 9 in. Who knows? We got to get some runs to be able to play only 9 tonight. 0-1. Lifted foul ground, first base side. Macias watches it sail out of play. Somebody dropped that baseball, I got a feeling. Can't see over there, but crowd reaction suggests that we did not make the play.
They might be scooping it up out of a puddle.
Solid crowd still sticking around here halfway home. Encarnacion leading off the 5th for Greenville, down 0-2 to Scarborough. Righty set in the belt buckle. Pauses, kicks, fires. Got him chasing. Strikeout number 8. Come on now. This is sweet stuff from Caden Scarborough. Pulled the strings on a splitter downstairs. And there's one out in the 5th.
Everything works. He struck out righties with sliders, and now he's throwing right-on-right splitters for fun.
Gotten 5 chases out of the zone already for strikeouts. Andrew Musset now digs in right side, and the pitch. Wave and a miss. Way out in front of the big sweeper, bending away. Into the left-hand box to get the chase. Musset was one of those 5 chases for a strikeout swinging back in the 3rd. 0-1. Half-hearted effort. Couldn't hold up. 0-2. Scarborough trying to hunt down a new career high in strikeouts. Would be number 9 if he can get it right here. In his high A debut, he has been nothing short of sensational. Nobody on and out into the top of the 5th. And an 0-2 count on Musset. Scarborough comes set. Rears back. Fires. Sit down. Strike 3 swinging at another sweeper planted at the knees. And that's a new career high for the 20-year-old from Harmony, Florida. Caden Scarborough comes up with strikeout number 9. This is the kind of debut that you dream about. Only allowed 2 base runners. Both came back in the 3rd inning on a single and a hit batter. Here's Justin Reamer, right on right, first pitch. Taking a strike, fastball at the knees. Starting to think the Rangers got a good one with the 6th round pick back in 2023.
I liked it when he struck out Arias to start the game. Just say it.
0-1. Taken, strike 2, fastball. Well, if you didn't like the first strikeout, you had 8 other to choose from since then. Maybe you can get number 10 on the night here from Scarborough. A chance to strike out the side for the first time.
4 consecutive Ks all the way back to Yoferi Rodriguez in the top of the 4th.
Deep breath. And the 0-2. Taken outside. There goes the chance at the immaculate inning from Caden Scarborough. Still a chance to strike at the side, but a 1-2 count now on Reamer. Wouldn't that have been something? 68 pitches in, and the 1-2 coming. Flick back to the screen, a challenge fastball. That caught everywhere of the plate. Reamer was just a bit tardy on 93.
And he's lived at 93 ever since the first. It has not been a problem.
Crowd trying to urge him on. Another 1-2. Taken outside. Snapped off another sweeper. 2-2.
Really tried to make that one break. Can tell 10 strikeouts in the back of his mind.
Couple of people standing and stretching in the Hub City bullpen. 70 pitches for Scarborough. And the 2-2. Bounced it in there. Reamer patiently awaits all the way from 0-2 to 3-2. Hudson White in the 9-hole waits on deck. Second time through so far for the righty starter, Caden Scarborough. Has not given up a hit so far in this second time through. 3-2 pitch. Darts inside, ball 4. So Reamer waits out a walk. He's the 3rd base runner of the day for Greenville. And that brings a mound visit as Malcolm Moore goes out there to talk things over. Pitching coach Thomas St. Clair slowly sledges his way to join him. First walk of the night from Scarborough. He also hit a batter. That was Franklin Arias back in the 3rd inning. He walked 3 in his season debut in Single A with Hickory and has not walked 3 since then. Last year we talked about a bit of a cause for concern with the command. 9 walks in 10 innings. But so far this season, he's only walked 19. That was number 20. And he's pitched almost 80 innings so far this season.
And it's much harder to be sharp with your command when you're dealing with injury. And it's not like that lat strain just popped up somewhere. Scarborough might have been feeling it on the mound, fighting his body to get the mechanics through.
Yeah, we told you, drafted back in July of 2023, did not pitch in a game till July of 2024. Now a year later, his high A debut. Battles with Hudson White, first pitch. Line back up the middle, 1 hopper to second. Hardy has it, takes it the short way, inning over. 5 scoreless for Caden Scarborough, and it's his night so far. We are all tied at 0s, halfway home on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. A pair of sixth-round draft picks are going blow for blow so far on the mound tonight. We go to the home half of the fifth, tied at 0. Caden Scarborough, 5 scoreless. Now Blake Ida trying to respond. Bottom of the order, here's Yason Morabel in the 7-hole. Right on left and the pitch. Line back out of play. Scarborough drafted 6th round in 2023 out of Harmony High School down in Florida in his high A debut tonight. Meanwhile, Ida, a 2024 6th rounder for the Red Sox, kicks and deals and skips one through the left-hand box just in front of the shoes of Morabel. 1-1. Ida taken after a couple of years playing with Kennesaw State just north of Atlanta. First full season in the minors. He offers a fastball that's slashed out of play toward the concourse left field line. 1-2. Just 3 combined hits against these two so far. Far more strikeouts for Scarborough than Ida. 9 for Hub City starter, just 2 for the Greenville Drive starter. He's up 1-2 on Morabel though. Winds and fires. Misses the outside corner with the big breaking ball. 2-2.
Morabel might have gotten the best piece against Ida back in the second.
Awaits the 2-2 pitch and stares at a fastball up and away. 3-2. Morabel had extra bases taken away by a diving grab deep into the left center field gap. Nellie Taylor went out there and got it on a full extension, and it ended the inning. 3-2 pitch coming. Morabel takes strike 3 called. Watch the cutter at the knees for strike 3, and it's a 3rd strikeout for Ida tonight. 1 down in the 5th.
Great execution from Ida. Gave Morabel the laundry list. Every pitch in the arsenal thrown during that AB.
A slightly easier out that time. Here's Macias' first pitch. Bounces it back to the backstop. Antonis has one of the 2 base hits today for Hub City. He singled to start the 3rd, then John Taylor with a base hit with 1 out in the last inning. Nothing coming of either of those knocks. 0-1. Taken in the dirt. After that diving catch in left center to take away a base hit from Yason Morabel in the 2nd inning, pretty much everybody in that 3rd base dugout just stood around waiting. The pitch tipped into the mitt, strike 2. And once Nellie Taylor got back there, it was hugs, high fives, you name it, welcoming him back after his diving play. A couple of guys bowing down to him as if he ruled the land tonight. 1-2. Just high. Across the lettering on that green jersey for Macias. 2-2. And out into the bottom of the 5th in a 0-0 ball game. Nobody on and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Macias shoots it down the left field line, turning toward the chalk. Long run Reamer. He makes the stab and grab, collides with the wall, and holds on. Not much foul territory. Reamer got over there. He lunged with the backhand, picked it out of the air, and then made a full-on collision, turning his back into the padded wall. Gets a wave of the cap from his starting pitcher, Blake Ida. There are 2 outs, and another sensational play by this Greenville outfield.
Only 1 step for Reamer between ball then wall. He's still trying to shake off the impact.
2 down for Theo Hardy. First pitch. Hardy swings and bounces it back toward the backstop, 0-1. Also went after the first pitch his first time up. A line shot at 100 miles per hour off the bat, but straight at the center fielder, Nellie Taylor. Theo Hardy actually playing against his former teammate on the mound tonight in Blake Ida. 0-1. He squares and pulls back. Now stares straight at Ida, sharing a smile with him as that one nearly clipped the back foot These two played together for the YD Red Sox in the Cape Cod Baseball League Summer Collegiate Wood Bat Ball back in 2023. 1-1. Hardy squares, slaps it foul with the bunt third base side. 1-2. Another one of Hardy's teammates that year, actually his roommate up on the Cape, Skylar King out of West Virginia, also a part of the Red Sox organization now, drafted this year in the 15th round. And he's playing down in Single A with Salem, but hitting .300 to start his minor league career, so a chance that Theo Hardy could play against another one of his former YD Red Sox teammates. With 2 outs, nobody on, 1-2 pitch. Hardy swings through a big breaking ball. Strike 3, tag applied by the catcher Musset, inning over. Blake Ida gets the better of Theo Hardy for the second time tonight and goes 1-2-3 through the bottom of the order for Hub City. Scoreless through 5. Pitcher's duel between Ida and Scarborough here on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. AFL call to the bullpen for the Burgers to start the 6th. First pitch to Franklin Arias is a strike from the right hand of new reliever Brooks Fowler. Fowler takes over for Caden Scarborough, who was just sensational tonight. And the 0-1 downstairs, a ball and a strike. Final line on Scarborough in his high A debut, the 20-year-old goes 5 innings of work, does not give up a run on just a hit, a walk, and a hit batter. 1-1. In tight. 2 balls and a strike on Arias. And the highlight of the night, 9 strikeouts, a new career high for Caden Scarborough. 1-1 on the way. Fouled off, flared toward the first baseline, over the seats, out of play.
This is Fowler's second relief appearance of the season. Both times he's followed Caden Scarborough.
Third appearance with Hub City, the first 2 were starts. Came up just a couple of weeks before Scarborough from Single A Hickory. So far a .386 earned run average in 9 1/3 innings in those 2 starts. 2-2 on the way. Lifted into shallow left field. Long run in. Martin charges. Now he camps and corrals. First out of the 6th off the bat of Franklin Arias. Lazy fly ball out, and that brings Nelly Taylor to the dish.
Even though they're both right-handed pitchers, you're going to get pretty different styles between Scarborough and Fowler. Scarborough, a hard thrower who relies on the fastball, and Fowler will go all the way through his 5-pitch repertoire to keep hitters off balance.
He also works out of the windup and offers to the lefty Nelly Taylor downstairs with the sinking fastball. 1-0. Scarborough, meanwhile, was exclusively from the stretch tonight. 1-0 pitch, down and in. With the quality start that Scarborough gave you, 2-0 on the way, lifted into shallow center field. Now it's Drowling's turn to run on. He waits for it and makes the play. 2 down. Safe to say you could expect Brooks Fowler to take it deep into this game, maybe even finish it. Last time out he went 4 in the third innings, and, well, if we ever get some runs in this game, theoretically just 4 innings left.
Fowler's also pitching in better conditions. The rain has come to a stop. And the field's still in pretty good shape, no puddling.
2 up, 2 down. Here's Mason White. He takes a look at a first pitch big breaking ball outside to the lefty batter. It's the big slider at just 77. 1-0. Wave and a miss. He was late on the cutter. That's in the mid-80s. White chopped out twice in his 2 ABs against the starter Scarborough. 1-1. Slashed foul the other way. 1-2. Still waiting for either side to blink on defense. Each team has just gotten one crack with a runner in scoring position. And the pitch, up and away. Tried the splitter, 2-2. For Greenville, that came back in the third inning. 1 out single from Reamer. Reached second on an error, but was stranded. 2-2. Just missed. Cutter that couldn't quite move enough onto the outside corner to the lefty. And White finds himself in a full count. 3-2 on the way. Up and away, ball 4. So a 2-out walk issued by Brooks Fowler, and that gets Yoferi Rodriguez to the plate. Only time Hub City got a runner to scoring position was when John Taylor singled back in the 4th inning. He stole second base, but a strikeout and a groundout ended the threat. See if Mason White has any intentions over at first base. Short lead. First pitch to Rodriguez. Down and in.
My educated guess would be no. Never had
probably
more than
not.
5 stolen bases in a season at Arizona.
But both these teams are desperate for offense at this point. Scoreless game in the 6th inning. 0 for 2 so far for Rodriguez. Lefty awaits and the pitch. Down and in. Snap back throw to first. It's late. I tell you what, Ian, that was a big jump at first. And I think White had intentions of going and then put the brakes on last minute. Moore tried to backpick him, but it wasn't in time. And here comes a mound visit with pitching coach Thomas St. Clair.
White's pointing at a spot in the dirt. He lost his footing and almost tripped. Could have been a potential faceplant halfway to second.
I told you, they're desperate for offense.
Greenville's also just not a team that steals a whole lot. Only one player with over 20 swipes on the season. Of course, they've had some guys sent up, but that's a very low number, all things considered.
When you've only got 1 hit and you're in the 6th inning of a scoreless ball game, with 2 outs, might as well test it. And perhaps Thomas St. Clair with a few words to the battery tonight about trying to keep the running at bay.
Even the team with the fewest stolen bases in the Sally willing to buck the trends.
Fowler needs to battle back, though. He's down 2-0 to Rodriguez. Nods home and fires. Just missed.
Man.
Oh, boy. Cutter that was on the outside corner could not get the call. It's 3-0. Fowler gives a look over his left shoulder to first, and Rodriguez calls time stepping out. Big waves of the burnt red bat and the pitch. Taken for a strike, 3-1. Rodriguez came over from the Brewers organization earlier this year in a Quinn Priester trade. Formerly a top outfield prospect for Milwaukee. 3-1. Strike 2. Fastball at the knees. And with the Brewers, he played mostly center field. Since joining the Red Sox organization, it's been mostly corner outfield. And with this Greenville team, no reason to put him in center when you got Nelly Taylor. 3-2. Slow roller to first. 2 hops. Macias eats it up, takes it himself to first. Inning over. 2-out walk is nothing to worry about for Brooks Fowler. He completes a scoreless first inning out of the pen. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. Halfway through 6, 0-0 on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Blake Ida's ball game is still for Greenville on the bump. Faces the top of the order, 3rd time through. Scoreless ball game, bottom of the 6th. Here's Dreiling to lead things off. Right on left, the pitch. Just low. Changeup couldn't get the call. Dreiling 0 for 1. He walked back in the 1st. Flat out to left in the 3rd. Ida with the 0-1. Up and away. 2-0 the count. Just 62 pitches so far for Blake Ida through 5 and change. Mighty efficient. Pitching to contact. Full windup in the 2-0. Misses inside with the cutter. 3 balls, no strikes to start Dreiling. Hub City will be desperate for a base runner. They've only had 3 of those tonight on 2 hits. 3-0, Dreiling takes all the way. It's a strike. Top of the zone with the fastball.
Ida's cracked 80 pitches 3 times this year in high A. And at this pace, that would put him in the bottom of the 8th before they take him out.
Here's the 3-1. Fastball for a strike, 3-2. Ida pitched into the 7th inning the first time he faced off against the Burgers. He gave up 3 runs that day, though. In a scoreless ball game in the home half of 6 here. And Dreiling leading things off, calls time. Now steps back into the back of the box. Glove to the face. Ida peering home. Pitch. Check swing. Dreiling takes high. Flips the bat back to the dugout. He's aboard to start the 6th inning on a full count walk.
Now over 50 on the season for the Spartanburgers team leader.
He has the 2 walks issued today by Blake Ida. And a possible first run of the ball game is aboard with nobody out in the home half of the 6th. Casey Cook strides in. First pitch. Cook takes high and away. Ida falling behind each of the first 2 batters in this frame. Tucks his black mitt up against his left shoulder, gets the sign from his catcher Musset. 1-0. cracked high in the air, right center field. Taylor drifting over into the gap. He camps under it, squeezes it. Cook just got under that one, and it's out number 1 in the 6th.
Good pitch to hit, middle fastball. Was wondering if Casey might try to bunt there. Greenville was set up with the corners in. Anderson on the grass at third.
Casey's on-base streak will be in jeopardy when he comes to the plate next. Double-digit on-base streak. 0 for 3 today. Here's Malcolm Moore. Pick to first. Dreiling back, standing. Moore had 2 hits in each of the first 2 games of the series after an 0 for series in Brooklyn on the road. 0 for 2 today, but he smoked one last time up. Line drive right at second base. Another pick to first. Dreiling back, standing. There go your first 2 pickoffs to Dreiling in the at-bat, so no more allowed from Blake Ida unless he throws over and gets Dreiling. If not, it'll be a balk. Now he has to set the focus on Malcolm Moore. Big lefty bat awaits and takes just outside. Change up for ball 1. Berger's trying to strike first tonight as they try and bounce back after a loss yesterday in extra innings. They are a game back of first place, and that resides in the hands of Greenville. And the pitch. Called strike with the fastball.
That outside corner, for the most part, a call pitchers aren't getting tonight. Last night, it was the opposite story.
Switch the umpires up. Brooks Pritchett calling the balls and strikes tonight. Counterpart Connor Kroll is out in the field. 1-1. Dives outside. 2 balls into strike.
Looks like that's what Ida wants to live against Malcolm Moore. Everything's down and outside, seeing if he can get Malcolm to elevate and put something in the air towards Rodriguez or Taylor.
Stocky righty is laboring a bit here in the 6th. 2-1. Foul back. Healthy cut and an outside fastball by Moore.
And a large secondary lead from Dylan Dreiling off first. Spartanburgers base runners like to take that big secondary jump, then break for a base.
Ida took his black cap off, wiping the sweat off his head on a humid night in upstate South Carolina. 2-2. Dribbler foul first base side. Moore stays alive. And the pitch count now at 73 for Ida in what could be his final inning of the night. Long ABs against the top of the order to start in the 6th. 1 on and 1 out. And a 2-2 battle here between Moore and Ida. Scoreless ball game. Bottom of 6. Another 2-2 with Dreiling jumping off of first. On the way. Rocket right into center field, but straight at Taylor. Backpedals and makes the grab. Just shy of the track. 2 out. 104. A blistered baseball off the bat of Malcolm Moore for the 2nd straight AB. He hits it straight at a Greenville Drive defender. Here's John Taylor, still possesses one of just 2 hits on the night for Hub City. Only 1 on the Greenville side. Scoreless ball game. 2 down runner at first, and another check on first. Dreiling back standing again. Still has not had to dirty up that lime green jersey. When Taylor singled, we did see him steal second. Perhaps that's in the cards for Dreiling here. First pitch not moving. Taylor stares at a fastball outside, ball 1. And here comes a mound visit. A pitch into the AB. Bob Kipper, the pitching coach, along with the middle infield and the catcher, all going out to talk to Ida, who rolls the sleeves up, retucks the gray jersey in, settles in, trying to get out of the 6th inning and keep it scoreless. By far the most uncomfortable we've seen Ida tonight because he was in cruise control in those first 5 innings.
Dreiling really made him think. Took him to a full count and eventually won the battle with the walk. Leadoff walks, as they say, always come back to bite you. And Ida determined not to let that happen. Mixing up tempos with Dreiling on first. That big secondary lead hasn't turned into a stealing opportunity because of Ida's changes of pace.
All 4 at-bats in the inning, starting with first pitch balls from Ida. Down 1-0 after the visit, he pitches. Taylor flicks it back to the netting. 1-1. Changeup that was lifted on the outside part of the plate. Healthy cut from John Taylor. Still no motion over at first base from Dreiling. He's gotten good-sized leads recently, but not taken off yet. Pitch, he's on the move. Taylor checks his swing, it's a ball. Throw to second, out of the glove of Arias. Dreiling safe. Second stolen bag of the night for Hub City. And again, a possible first run of the ball game in scoring position. Would have been a bang-bang play, and on the short hop, Arias just could not quite bring it in.
Dreiling finally timed it up. Arias going for an expert-level tag on second. Bring the glove down and catch a hop on the way up. Just slightly mistimed.
A 2-1 count on John Taylor. Base hit here could give Hub City the first lead tonight. And the pitch. Shot high in the air on the infield. Arias drifting back toward the outfield grass. He makes the calling catch, and the inning ends. Pitch after the stolen bag from Dreiling. John Taylor pops out, and we go to the 7th in a 0-0 ball game here on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Game of fine margins tonight between Greenville and Hub City, and it's still a scoreless ball game into the 7th inning. 5-6-7 for the drive. Second inning of work for Brooks Fowler. First pitch. Stays outside to the lefty, hitting Antonio Anderson. Burgers had a second chance with a runner in scoring position in the last half inning. Could not cash in. Fowler gets a called strike with the big slider, top of the zone, 1-1. With just one game separating Greenville ahead of Hub City for a playoff spot, this is a big one tonight. 1-1. Pounds the mitt. Top of the zone. Strike 2. 16 games remain in the regular season after this, and 3 more between these two after tonight. 1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. High heat right past the barrel of Anderson. First strikeout of the night for Brooks Fowler starts the 7th. That is 10 strikeouts now for Hub City pitching. A night removed from an 18 strikeout performance. A new 9-inning record for the program.
And it's just 91 from Fowler, but Anderson sees fastball spin and his eyes light up.
First pitch on the way. It's a strike on the inner half to Friley Encarnacion from the right side. And 91 might be a little bit slower than the starter pitch, chopped foul, 0-2. Scarborough was in the mid-90s, but it's the fastest pitch that Brooks Fowler had thrown in the AB. A couple of breaking balls to start, and then he sped up the bat of Anderson. Whole arsenal open here, 0-2. Dives downstairs with a splitter, 1-2. Fowler turns it loose. Hot shot foul. Skips into the third base dugout, ricocheting around. Everybody's all right over there. One, two again. Lifted into shallow left on a line right at Martin. He's got it. Sized it up and squeezed it belt high. Feels like it's been that kind of night for both offenses. Pretty much every baseball hit hard has been hit right at a fielder. Still just 3 hits combined. 2 for Hub City, 1 for Greenville. And both sides have a couple of sharp lineouts. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Andrew Musset, first pitch. He checks his swing, lays off a strike. Slider top of the zone.
It's not weather related anymore. Wind has not been a factor tonight.
0-1. Big bender outside.
Both teams are just plain unlucky.
And both teams are just pitching good baseball tonight.
Yeah.
1-1. Lifted shallow right center field. Hardy goes out from second, gives way. Morabel comes in, makes the grab, inning over. 1, 2, 3. Go the drive in the top of the 7th. It is stretch time, and we are scoreless. Oh boy, it's getting late early on both of these sides. Needing some offense when we come back on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Greenville goes to the pen an inning after Hub City does. Day is done for Blake Ida after 6 scoreless as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Manuel Medina, new reliever, comes into the game. The lefty out of Venezuela set to face off against 5, 6, and 7. Trying to keep this game right where it is at 0-0. Medina so far this season pitched across 2 levels. 2 games down in single A with Salem, and now his 10th game in high A. First pitch, Figueroa gets one and ropes it deep right field toward the corner. Goodbye! Just took 1 pitch, and Figueroa makes Medina pay. Burgers strike first, 1-0 in the 7th. First home run of August for Glader Figueroa comes in a huge spot. And he's back to a tie for 3rd in the league with 18 big ones on the season.
Much needed. Much needed. Medina doesn't throw all that hard. That was just 85 on the inner half. Sinking fastball that Figueroa squared up and plastered.
Kept it just inside of the foul pole, straight into the Hub City bullpen on a frozen rope. First pitch to Martin. Slides in there for a strike. Just had to get Blake Ida out of the ballgame after 6 scoreless. 0-1 on the way. Just inside. Ida gets no decision after 6 scoreless, just gives up 2 hits and 2 walks and strikes out 4. And on the first pitch from lefty reliever Manuel Medina, that ball deposited into the bullpen. Slow roller first base side, right on the chalk, and Medina lets it go foul. Burgers fans thought he might have touched it. He went down to pick it up right when it was crossing the line and then laid off because the base runner Martin had crossed right in front of him and was going to beat that one out if he picked it up. So a good decision, makes it a 1-2 count. As we come down the stretch, if Hub City can get this win tonight, now up 1-0 in the 7th inning, it'll tie them back with Greenville for a playoff spot. And you got to feel the guy that just hit the home run could be huge. 1-2. Half-hearted effort. Appeal down. Yes, he did. Martin strikes out at a big sweeper outside. 1 down in the 7th. But for this Hub City offense, to have their big power threat, Glader Figueroa, operating on all cylinders down the stretch, if they want to make the playoffs, you got a feeling that his bat needs to be a big part of it.
The slug from Figueroa had been in witness protection.
Morabel chops the first pitch he sees foul.
3 doubles so far in August before that big fly, but really nothing else. And the clutch at-bats weren't there. In July, even though Figueroa didn't have the most timely of hits, we saw him work a lot of walks with runners on base to extend the inning and give someone else a chance.
0-1. Morabel pokes it foul. And yesterday, Figueroa came up in a couple huge spots. A close game yesterday that came down to extra innings and a 3-2 win in 9 innings after we only played 7, or at least that's what we planned on playing due to a big delay. 0-2 on the way. Dives downstairs. Figueroa came up with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning yesterday. 1 run in, and he bounced into an inning-ending double play. Then started the bottom of the 9th inning with a pop-out. Couldn't move over the automatic runner. 1-2. Morabel pokes it on the ground to second base. White corrals, throws to first, and there's 2 outs here in the 7th inning after the leadoff home run from Glader Figueroa. Macias will try and extend the inning. But you got a feeling that Hub City's going to stick with the right arm of Brooks Fowler after this. He's gone through 2 scoreless innings, just surrendered 1 base runner on a walk. First pitch, Macias takes just outside. Fastball for ball 1.
Bullpen-wise for Hub City, 7 arms over the first 2 days, already taxed.
1-0, shot right back up the middle, base hit. Drops into shallow right center field. Macias takes a big turn at first, but he puts on the brakes. 2-hit day down in the 8th hole for Antonis Macias.
Good early aggressive swings, too.
Brings up Theo Hardy in the 9th hole. Already saw Theo trying to lay down 1 bunt for a base hit tonight. Unsuccessfully. Put it down foul. Third baseman Anderson even with the bag. First baseman Encarnacion holding on the runner. First pitch. Runner on the move. Downstairs. Throw to second. 1 hopper. Tag on the feet. Got him. Mason White with a heck of a snare on a 1 hopper down there by Mousset. And on just 1 pitch to Hardy, Macias is caught stealing to end the inning. Not before Glader Figueroa starts it on the first pitch out of the bullpen by Medina with a moonshot home run to right. And through 7, it is 1-0 Burgers here on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network.
Brooks Fowler back to the bump with a lead. 1-0 Spartanburgers, top of the 8th. 1-0 count to Justin Reamer. The pitch. Breaking ball, low and outside. Glader Figueroa solo shot on the first pitch of the bottom of the 7th off new reliever Manuel Medina. Right on right to Reamer. Fowler comes home. Reamer showed bunt, pulled back, and took ball 3 down and in. Figueroa's first home run of August, his 18th of the season. 3-0 pitch. That's a strike. Cutter on the inside half to Reamer. That was the first extra base hit for either side tonight. The Tribe just have one knock, 3-1. Called strike 2. Reamer spun out of the box and now takes time. It was in the zone.
But he's crowded the plate, so that makes it feel like it's inside. Close call, though. Big strike to get if you're Fowler. Don't want to put the leadoff man on a free pass in a 1-0 ball game.
Crowding the plates worked for Reamer twice. Single and a walk. Pay count pitch. Smack deep to left, but out of play. Foul ball, which twists onto the concourse. 10 strikeouts for the Spartanburgers staff tonight. Reamer not one of them, nor Hudson White, who waits on deck. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back, just to our left. Almost sacrificed the crowd mic there.
That was close, Ian. That was headed for you. Your computer was in danger spot there.
I don't have insurance on that. 3-2 pitch. Reamer puts this one over the roof. Count stays full.
You're going to have to lean out and catch those next time, I think. Keep everything safe up here.
We'll get a big old fishing net for the playoffs if we get there. 3-2. Dives down and in. Reamer with a frustrated bat flip after ball 4. Spikes it behind him and flips off the protective gear to jog to first.
I don't know if that was a frustrated celebration or a happy celebration.
He certainly was not pleased with the 3-1 called strike. Potential tying run on first in the top of the 8th for Hudson White. Facing Brooks Fowler. Right on right pitch. Sprayed in the air, shallow infield. Taylor on the grass, lets it drop, picks it up and flips to second. Heady baseball play from John Taylor. Gets Reamer, the faster runner, out at second.
Saw one of those that was incidental earlier from Greenville starter Blake Ida. Everything there was all intentional from John Taylor and a great decision. White's the DH, but he's a catcher, so he is not a fast base runner.
Tough to double up Arias. Righty shortstop in the box. Fowler's first pitch. Fastball, broken bat, dribbler to third. Figueroa has it, spikes the throw to second. Hardy tosses to first. Double play. Figueroa with the one hopper to Hardy, who slung it to first on the turn. 5-4-3 finishes off the top of the 8th.
And speaking of intentional, everything planned about that too. Figueroa the launch pad to second, easier ball to transfer for Hardy, and he completes the inning ender.
Burgers up 1-0 on the drive. Bottom of the 8th after the break on Fox Sports Spartanburg. Your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. We had Davalio before they were hip to him. First pitch, half swing, a foul ball by Theo Hardy to start the bottom of the 8th. Burgers 1, drive, zip. Glader Figueroa with the solo homer to get Hub City ahead. Lefty Medina delivers. Hardy takes a whizzing fastball near the belt, 1-1. Not only did Figueroa get Hub City on the scoreboard, he also authored the beginning of a fantastic 5-4-3 double play. You can see the Figueroa long ball on MILB TV. That throw on the twist of 2 bounced halfway from third to second, 1-1. Rolled back to the mound. Medina snags the first bounce, throws to first, retires Hardy. Theo Hardy was the one who caught the volleyball spike, chest high, perfectly placed, and they got White, the slower runner, and doubled up Arias at first, tossed to first, beat him by a step.
Nice of Theo to break in the right-hand batter's box there for Hub City. First time that the Burgers have sent somebody to hit from the right side all night as they bat 8 lefties and a switch hitter, and Hardy faces the lefty Medina for the first time.
Back to left on left for Medina. 23-year-old deals to Dreiling, who hammers a fastball into the dirt. White vacuums it in, throws to first. Dreiling's retired. 2 quick outs for Medina. Spartanburgers kind of broke the trend against Greenville's relievers with the Figueroa homer. A day before Ida went out 6-inning start at Floor Field, Medina came out of the pen and tossed 4 scoreless with 6 Ks. Casey Cook digs in. Wind in the pitch. Breaking ball low and away. Brandon Clark had an erratic first inning that day, and Clark from the left side throws in the high 90s. Medina's 1-0. Rolled over to first, foul. Medina comes in throwing about 10 miles an hour slower and has Hub City in conniptions trying to hit his fastball.
And it is a much-needed home run just in general for the Hub City offense. Disregard tonight's game because the Burgers have really found themselves at a loss for power recently.
1-1. Heater out. Only 1 homer on the road trip.
That came from Dylan Dreiling, so just 1 home run in the month of August since the 3rd of the month from Casey Cook.
2-1 pitch. Cook takes, slow and away.
Finally, Figueroa gets one to go. Not to say you can't win ball games without home runs, but it certainly helps.
Bases clear, 2 outs, 3-1 pitch. Above the letters, ball 4 to Casey Cook.
Keeps the on-base streak going.
12 games in a row. Casey Cook is touched first. So now Malcolm Moore steps in.
Feels like he deserves a hit tonight the way that he's laced the baseball.
Moore swung it well in the series, but a couple of lineouts have kept him off base tonight. Left on left deal. Low and away. Uze catches it next to his left shin. Bob Kipper quickly out of the third base dugout. 22 pitches, 12 strikes for Medina. From someone who doesn't throw all that hard and usually is peppering the zone, you can expect multiple innings almost every appearance. And that's the case for Medina, who hasn't retired fewer than 6 batters since June 28th. That's why the mound visit doesn't last all that long. Bob Kipper gets out of Dodge before Brooks Pritchett reaches the hill.
I don't think there's any intention on going to a substitute out of the pen anytime soon, but just trying to make sure they keep it a 1-0 game into the 9th.
In the 9th, Greenville has a nice part of the order up. Taylor, White, and Rodriguez, 2-3-4. Left on left, Medina to Moore. Pick over to first, Cook back safe. Manuel Medina to Malcolm Moore. Burgers a run on 4 hits, 1 error. Greenville no runs on just 1 hit. A Justin Reamer single in the 3rd. Pitch. Slider swerves away from Moore. That's a ball, 2-0. Caden Scarborough, 5 innings, scoreless baseball, 9 strikeouts, a career high in his high A debut. Brooks Fowler's pitched the next 3. Moore takes up and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Medina trying to live on the outside edge, just as Blake Ida did pretty successfully. But Malcolm Moore is not fishing. Greenville gives him a nice gap in right center. 3-0 pitch. Moore watches down and in. Probably had the green light on 3-0, but would not budge as 87 settled at his shins. Back-to-back walks. 2 aboard in the bottom of the 8th for John Taylor, with a chance to extend the lead past just 1 run. With runners in scoring position and 2 outs, John Taylor is 5 for 23. First pitch. Hammered foul. Pounded into the dirt on the first base side. Chase Sillinger will dig it out from behind the tarp.
Insurance would be nice here. You mentioned the 3-2 up for Greenville in the top of the 9th. A little bit of lefty power there between Taylor and Rodriguez, and you need lefties if you want to hit home runs in this ballpark.
Pitch to the lefty Taylor. In on the hands, ball 2. White has certainly got some pop in the bat himself. 2nd all-time in Arizona's career home run list. So the Spartanburgers have to be careful with who they put out there. If it's Fowler for a 4th inning or maybe a fresh arm out of the pen, Taylor takes in.
I don't think there's any reason to go away from Brooks Fowler. He's certainly got the ability to pitch this long. Other than a couple of walks, he's been untouched tonight.
2-1 to JT. Cook on 2nd, Moore on 1st. 2-out offering. Rip to White. It skips off his glove and into shallow right. Cook speeds home. Throw never makes it there. Burgers double the lead. 2-0 Hub City in the bottom of the 8th. Taylor hit a worm burner. White tried to make a sliding stop to his left, but a wet baseball snuck underneath him. At first, it looked like he had the pill roped in. Never finally got control.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. It looked like he got a good jump. He did the hard part, sliding, got in the right position, and then just missed on the baseball. Must have hit on the outside of the webbing.
Moore on 2nd, Taylor on first. Pitch to Figueroa. Taken inside edge. Slider for a strike.
And that's a frustrating one over there at 2nd base for Mason White, because he knows he could have had a play on that baseball to get him out of the inning.
Some long looks in the Greenville dugout because Medina has to face Figueroa for a 2nd time. 0-1. Wave and a miss. Moore too far off 2nd. Pick back there. He's safe. Arias swings his fist in frustration. Medina also with his head down behind the mound. Greenville thought they had Malcolm Moore in no man's land between 2nd and 3rd.
They did have him in no man's land. They just couldn't get the out from it.
Moore got the right hand in before the tag. 0-2 to Figgy. Medina deals. Slider way out.
Safe to say he's not getting the fastball inside that he got the first time he came up against Medina.
Medina will not overpower Glader Figueroa. Has to outthink him with off speed. 1-2 pitch. Slider out. Figueroa is seeing that well after he swung and missed at it for 0-2. Moore and Taylor the base runners. 3 Hub City hits over the last 2 innings. Taylor just brought in Casey Cook with a single to 2nd. 2-2. The pitch. Hammered into right center. Taylor chasing after it, but it drops in the gap. Moore scores from second. Taylor first to third. 3-0 Burgers. Bottom of the 8th. Figueroa comes up big. Medina put one more fastball down the middle, and deja vu, Figueroa didn't miss it.
Just waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally got the pitch he wanted. And that's day done for Manuel Medina. Glader Figueroa comes and gets him twice.
You don't want to see the Spartanburgers arrow slinger, Figueroa. He puts a bow on Medina's night with a second RBI in 2 innings. 3-0 Hub City over Greenville as the Drive make a pitching change with 2 aboard and 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. Jonathan Brand deals low to Maxton Martin with John Taylor on third, Glader Figueroa on first. In the bottom of the 8th, the 2 base runners with back-to-back RBI singles. Hub City a 3-zip lead over the Drive. Lefty Martin stares out towards the righty Brand. In the stretch, he delivers. Misses up and out. Over the top curve. And it's 2 balls, no strikes. Miguel Medina's evening over. Inning in 2/3, 4 hits. At least 3 runs allowed. The pitch. Slowly dribbled to second, but it caught Martin's foot first. So Taylor, halfway home, jogs back to third. Figueroa returns to the cushion at first. Home plate umpire Brooks Pritchett, nice enough to give Martin a little extra time to shake off that stinger. 0 for 3 tonight. Martin awaits and takes a changeup in the dirt. 28th appearance on the season for Jonathan Brand. ERA of 2.6. He's pitched in high A, double A, and triple A this year. His 3-1. Bounce to the right side of the infield. White has it. Underhand shovel to first, and the inning in the books. If White had the Taylor grounder 2 batters earlier, it would still be 1-0 Hub City. The Burgers capitalize. Taylor and Figueroa back-to-back RBI knocks with 2 outs, and it's 3-0. Hub City in front of Greenville on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network. AFL call to the pen in the top of the ninth. Victor Simeone in to close it out for Hub City. Up 3-0 on the drive. The Spartanburgers with a win can tie Greenville for first place in the South Division. Simeone starts off the ninth against Nellie Taylor, lefty who's 0 for 3. Righty with long navy sleeves under his lettuce green jersey stares down the batter and comes set. Simeone, always from the stretch, fires home and misses up and out with 95. Just like hitters can get hot, so can pitchers, especially relievers who throw in short stints. That's Victor Simeone over the past couple weeks. Next pitch, up and out. Another fastball, nowhere close to Nellie Taylor. 2-0. Simeone hasn't allowed a run through his last 5 2/3. Time behind the plate. Malcolm Moore trots out to the mound. And Tony Macias hustling over from first to translate if need be. But Malcolm has it covered. Given that Simeone's only thrown 2 pitches, I would imagine after the light show and the entrance music and all the camaraderie as he trotted in from right, he might be a little fired up. Infield shifted right against the lefty Taylor. Simeone's 2-0. Slider for a strike. Top outside corner to make it 2-1. That's been the pitch for Victor Simeone recently. The slider. It was on full display in 2 2/3 against Brooklyn when he struck out 6. 2-1. Wave and a miss. Taylor almost loses the lid on a fastball. Counts even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. After Taylor, Mason White and Yoferi Rodriguez wait in the wings against Simeone. 3 lefties. Taylor ready. Simeone set. 2-2. Kick in the pitch. Hit off the handle. Foul behind home plate. But as we discussed earlier, this is a reverse splits situation. Even though Simeone is mainly fastball slider, lefties hit 158 against him. And righties almost 100 points better. 2-2 to Taylor. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Breaking ball buried on the outside corner. Taylor flails out in front. 11th strikeout of the night for the Spartanburgers staff, who's 2 outs away from a shutout win. Mason White up next. Lefty hitting second baseman, hunting redemption after John Taylor's ground ball squeaked underneath his slide in the bottom of the 8th, allowed Hub City to advance to the lead. First pitch. Heater above the zone. 5 scoreless from Caden Scarborough in his high A debut. 9 strikeouts. Then Brooks Fowler with 3 hitless, scoreless innings sets up Simeone. 1-0. Just off the edge. Simeone consistently sticking 95 on the radar gun and barely missing the outer black. Figueroa well off the line at third. Macias hugs the first base bag. 2-0. Back foot slider behind Taylor. It's behind White's back left cleat. Morabel the deepest of the 3 outfielders. Right fielder expecting a pull side shot. 3-0 pitch. White walks away from ball 4. Simeone came in with a slider and one-hopped it to the dish. No trouble just yet with Yoferi Rodriguez, who's more of a slap hitter in the cleanup spot, stepping in. It's still 3-0 Hub City in the top of the 9th. No solid contact from Yoferi Rodriguez tonight. Simeone with a long hold. Now the pitch home. Wave and a miss. Tumbling slider. Rodriguez cuts over the top. He flied out to left and struck out against Scarborough. Then grounded out to Macias at first when facing Fowler. Next pitch. Diving breaking ball. Rodriguez backs out of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. Simeone has a .520 ERA on the season. And he's just 1 for 3 in save chances. But he's tied for Hub City's team lead in wins. 1-1. Heater out. Rodriguez had good eyes on it. And Malcolm Moore popped out of his crouch just in case Mason White took off for second. White got a little aggressive against Fowler after he walked back in the 6th, but never stole. 2-1. Called strike 2. Slider nicks the top of the zone.
And at this level, you just so rarely see guys go back-to-back days out of the pen. Simeone hasn't done it yet this year, and trying to battle back, obviously not his A-plus consistency.
2-2. Wave and a miss. Strike 3. Malcolm Moore puts 1 finger in the air. Tells his team we need 1 more out for a shutout victory.
And still just the 1 hit for Greenville all the way back in the 3rd inning, a single from Justin Reamer.
Simeone stares down Antonio Anderson. First pitch. That's a strike at the knees. Simeone has found it. Season started in April. He got the first Spartanburgers win ever. 0-1. Wave and a miss at a high heater. And it's taken him until August to consistently throw strikes. Now he's 1 more away from a 3-0 Spartanburgers win and a tie atop the South League South Division standings. Short lead for White off first. 0-2. Dives low and away. 94, which looked pretty good. Moore shaking his head behind the plate. He thought this thing was ancient history. 1-2 to Anderson. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball game in the books. Simeone strikes out the side for his second save. 3-0. Hub City tops Greenville after a slight delay on Thursday evening. It takes the Burgers 7 innings to find any offense. Figueroa with an explosion for his 18th homer, then back-to-back RBI singles in the 8th. Taylor and Figueroa come up clutch to give the Burgers insurance, and Simeone puts a bow on a fantastic pitching performance.
Well-pitched ball game by Hub City. How about the start from Caden Scarborough? Boy, was he perfect tonight. Didn't give up more than 1 hit, didn't give up a run, and he struck out a new career-high 9 strikeouts in his High A debut. That's good stuff, and the guys behind him really backed him up as well. Finally got that offense. Big time to see Glader Figueroa break out of a slump with 2 big hits, driving in a couple runs and that home run.
Figueroa lit the place on fire after Scarborough breezed through 5 with a slow heartbeat and 9 strikeouts. He fought through the rain and a little bit of wind, but that passed, and the Spartanburgers offense came in like a lamb. 3 runs in the final 3 innings for a 3-0 Spartanburgers win. Hub City 26-25, the Drive the same, and we've got 3 more games to go in this series with 2 weeks to follow to decide the South Atlantic League's 2nd playoff spot. First, we'll recap tonight's action. Andrew Sullivan has the post-game show after a quick break here on Fox Sports Spartanburg, your home for the Spartanburgers Radio Network.